Hey there, Wendy here with Jazzydoodledesigns, and tonight on Wind Down Wednesday is going to be a little bit different. I am just going to talk briefly about the future of Wind Down Wednesday, and then in the description I will leave you to a link of a brand new color along on my channel. It goes up at 5:15, so if you're seeing this as soon as Jazzydoodle or as soon as Wind Down Wednesday pops up, then just give it a couple of minutes and that color along will be available to you. But last week or a couple of weeks ago I put up a poll and you guys decided you wanted to learn about techniques versus a color along in the same book. And so I'm not sure how much of your choice was, well, I just don't want to color in the same book every week, versus you really want to learn techniques. Regardless, I've been given a lot of thought to the whole Wednesday at 5 o'clock thing. And one of the things that I struggle with is once in a while, my Mondays and Tuesdays can be a little busy and it leaves it hard for me to get a video done on time. I would prefer to put out content on Thursday that's better than what I produce on a Wednesday because I have to have it in by a certain time. Also, I've had mixed feelings about the idea of teaching techniques in isolation. For example, if I just stamped a leaf on a piece of paper and showed you how to color the leaf, there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like you lose some of the ability to learn why I chose to do a leaf that way as opposed to something else. For example, some leaves are really dark in the center and then kind of get lighter on the poofier parts and then dip down and they get darker. Other leaves are more flat, but they have more variation in color. Some leaves have light veins in them, not dark veins. So there's a part of me that feels like what I would rather do is pick something like this Grains of Gold. And I just picked a picture that I thought illustrated what I was talking about. Let's say I was doing a color along on this page. I could teach how to do translucent wings. I could teach how to do hair. I could teach how to do skin, jewelry, flowers, and leaves, and background. We could go over all those different things in one color along. But what's important is even though I could segment this out into an isolated video, how to color translucent leaves, it would also be a part of a bigger context of this color along so you could see why I chose those colors for the translucent leaves or wings. So for example, if this page was done in cooler colors like blues and greens for the flowers, I might want to pull those up into these leaves, or I don't know why I keep saying leaves, into the wings and use the blues and the light purples and things for the wings. Whereas if this page was done in reds and yellows and warmer colors, I may choose to do the wings in yellows and pinks or something like that for the wings. And so I feel like it's important for you to have kind of that context to see it all put together, and then I can segment out different things and maybe create like a 10-minute video, how to color wings, right? And just go, or you know me, it's never going to be 10 minutes, 20-minute video on how to do wings, and have it be something like that, but then you would still have the color along that you could also look at. So let me know what you think about that, because my thoughts right now going forward would be I would put up a community poll each color along and not necessarily committing to any timeline, but let's say it's time to choose for our next color along. I would put up 3 different books, and I would put up 3 different mediums, meaning like for the background, like distress ink or Inktense or Neocolor or pan pastels, right? And you would choose from those. And then also I would put up 3 or 4 different colored pencil brands, and you would choose for those. And then that way, each week, you guys get a say, and whatever gets the most votes wins. And I would choose, so let's say that when I put up my poll, Grains of Gold won, and Pan Pastels won, and Polychromos won. So then I would go in my book and I would say, well, what would be a good page for Pan Pastels? What would be a good page for Polychromos? What would be a good page for, what was the other thing? Oh, the book, right? So I would look in whatever book you chose for those things, and I would say, oh, I like the idea of a pan pastels on a big background. So maybe I would choose this guy, right? And then since I chose this page, we would do it in those things, but then I would also teach how to do a glass jar, right? So, and I could teach fruit, and I could teach mushrooms, and I could choose a vase or whatever. So there's a lot of different things that we can do just within that one page. And I would do that each time going forward. That way you guys have a say. Now, occasionally I just may be like, look, I have a hankering to do this. So this is what this is the color along that pops up for you. But then the next one will be one that you guys get to choose. So let me know your thoughts about that, because I asked in my last video for people put suggestions, what do they want to learn for techniques, and nobody really posted anything. So yeah, so that's what I'm thinking right now. And so that being said, unless at the end of this tonight or tomorrow, unless a bunch of comments flood in that say, I don't like that idea, Wendy, I just want you to teach techniques, then I would consider that, because I do want this channel to be about what brings value to you. But I am going to put up a poll for my next color along. I'll pick 3 books and we'll alternate. Sometimes I'll put up like bigger books, like a Kirby Rosanna's, where it's probably a 2-page spread, or maybe a Joanna Basford that has a ton of little tiny things. I will consider those larger content, and then we'll kind of vacillate between those and say something like a Hannah Carlson or Millie Murata or something like that, that's more of a smaller format. And so I'm going to have a poll up for that. But I would welcome, as always, any comment, even if it's just hello. I love hearing from you guys. And I'll leave you now. I'll shut up and leave you now with the color along on the channel. It's Rita Berman, Under the Microscope with Water or something like that, and it's a tropical fish one. It's very bright and fun, and it's done with Black Edition pencils. So we'll see you on the next one.